Here to react to all of this, former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, John Bolton, author of this book, The Room Where It Happened. Ambassador, good having you on today. So much breaking news this afternoon. We carried out another strike against the Iranian-backed proxy group. Houthis aren't getting the message. They're still attacking. Iran getting closer to a bomb, and Hamas rejecting the idea of the ceasefire by laying down their arms. Break it down for us, sir.
Well, this is a reflection of the collapse of the Biden administration policy for what's going on in the Middle East ever since the October 7 Hamas attack on Israel. Biden has refused from the outset to see that Iran is the puppet master in all this. All of these things that you just named aren't happening purely by coincidence. They're happening because Iran is calling the shots. We don't know exactly what their near-term aims are, but we know what their long-term aims are. They want hegemony in the region. They'd like to see Israel swept into the sea, the little Satan gone, and they'd like to do grave damage to the United States. The Biden administration response has been weak. And Iran has treated it with contempt. So the problems continue, and they will continue as long as the Biden administration doesn't get what the cause of all this is, which is the Ayatollahs in Tehran.
Ayatollahs in Tehran, but also weakness over here, perceived weakness with the Biden administration. Look at this. This just blew me away. When asked by a reporter about this deal, if it was going to go through, Biden is so lost in space. Just watch this. It's hard to watch.
Well, maybe choose my words. There's some movement. There's been a response from there's been a response from the opposition, but yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas, but it seems to be a little over the top. We're not sure where it is. There's a continuing negotiation right now.
Ambassador, he called, first of all, he couldn't remember Hamas, so he called them the opposition, and then he needed a reporter's help to remind him Hamas. I mean, we're in this. We're supporting Israel. We're involved in this. I mean, this has got to be scary, especially someone like you who knows how dangerous the people on the other side are.
Right. And look, the whole world's watching Biden the same way the American people are watching Biden. And they see what the problem is. And it's not going to get any better as time goes on. You know, when Biden met with Xi Jinping in California some months back, it had been a long time since he and the Chinese leader had met. I think one reason that Xi Jinping wanted to have that meeting was to have on his side of the table some psychiatrists and physicians to look at Biden close up, to judge for themselves what his condition was. So I think the administration and the president particularly are making what's already a weak policy even more dangerous for the United States.
Before we go on, Ambassador, I don't mean to put you on the spot here. You've said that if Trump is the nominee, you would more likely vote for Biden than Trump. Given what you just saw there, would you change your mind?
No, I haven't. I haven't said I would vote for Biden. I would do what I did in 2020. I didn't vote for either one of them. I live in Maryland, so I can write in names, and I wrote in the name of a conservative Republican since I didn't think there was one on the ballot. And if Trump and Biden are the nominees again, which it certainly looks like at this moment, I would do the same thing.
Got it. Turn to some other news over the last couple of days, and I think it's really important to talk about. Tucker Carlson, former Fox host, goes over and apparently is having had an interview already with Vladimir Putin. Tell us what your thoughts of this are. Is it stabilizing or destabilizing, and why? And break this down for us a little bit.
Well, I can't wait to watch this interview. I have to say that it should be a treat. But Tucker's being used by the Kremlin for their own purposes. They've got one American journalist in jail over there for being a journalist, and yet they're giving an interview to him. So, it's not a communist government in Moscow anymore, but Lenin's famous phrase about people in the West who do the communist bidding, he called them useful idiots. And I have to say that phrase comes to mind here.
What if he's tough on him? What if he holds him, accountable for all the death and destruction that's going on, and, the hundreds of thousands of lives on both sides, really holds him accountable? Would it help? I mean, I don't think it hurts. I'm a journalist. Let me call you, I'm a media person. Let's correct that. I didn't go to journalism school. I'm a media person. And I think shining a light, maybe even looking into the mind of some, dictators like psychopaths like Putin is good for everyone. Do you think it's a mistake for Tucker to do this?
Well, I think, to have a real judgment, we've got to see what the interview looks like. But I don't think Putin agreed to this interview after dissing plenty of other Americans over the years, unless he thought he was going to get favorable coverage. But we'll know soon enough, I think.
Okay, very quickly, the $60 billion, the package that would include $60 billion for Ukraine and $14 billion for Israel. You think these aid packages should go through, even if they're not tied to some border aid?
Well, I think in a perfect world, you'd consider each of them on their own merits, and I think I'd certainly vote in favor of all of them. I don't have any recommendations for the legislative tacticians in the Senate and the House. There's a technical term for what this represents now. We're in a mess, and I just think as a conservative Republican myself, I'd like to see us be able to have a reputation justly deserved for being able to govern, and I have to say, I think we're playing into Biden's hands here.
All right. Ambassador John Bolton, appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Eric. Glad to be with you.
All right. Coming up, folks, was there ever